Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's session where we are talking about how you can be able to master the art of networking for career advancement. I'm really happy and excited that you have been able to get the time to join us in this live discussion with the Queen of Networking. Sarah Karingi will be our guest speaker today, or our guest today. We'll just have an interview with her. We'll get to know more about what she does. So as we get started, I want to confirm that you can hear me, you can see me. Please drop it in the chat that you can see me, you can hear me. If you're watching this replay, you can start just listen through, or you can just skip like 5 minutes or so before we officially get started. But let me know in the chat, where are you joining? Where are you joining me from? Where are you following through as I get our guest right here? So please engage in the chat. I'll be happy to get to know where you are and what you are doing. But in the meantime, I think we can just get started right away. When you feel stuck, it is a signal. It's a signal that you need to change. It is a signal that you have stopped growing. Feeling stuck is normal. Feeling stuck is one of the most universal human experience. The difference is how you deal with it. And for you to grow, you need to make some changes. And for you to make these changes, the brain does not like change. It likes the status quo. Because for the brain, change means that you're going to die. And hello, sir, I can see you, and I'm very happy that you're here. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Super. So what I'm going to do, I just want to check that we are now live. We are streaming on the other platforms. I can see you also shared the link, so most of them can be able to join in the background, but I would want them to follow on YouTube. So let me just play this video as I check, do the sound check, confirm everything is okay, then we can be able to get started. Yeah?
Okay.
All right, thank you. When you feel stuck, it is a signal. It's a signal that you need to change. It is a signal that you have stopped growing. Feeling stuck is normal. Feeling stuck is one of the most universal human experience. The difference is how you deal with it. And for you to grow, you need to make some changes. And for you to make these changes, the brain does not like change. It likes the status quo. Because for the brain, change means that you're going to die. And in the fear zone, it is not a place where you really stay for a long time. You have to make a decision. Are you going to fall back into the comfort zone, or are you really going to push yourself into the learning zone? To some people, it makes them not be able to do anything. It makes them feel paralyzed. But for some people, if they take the right action, if they know how to deal with it, actually makes them thrive. They can actually say, the reason that I have grown or gotten to where I am right now, it's because of that feeling that I had of being stuck, but I did something about it. That is our ancestry brain that knows anything that is outside the normal things that we do will make us die. But we know that you're not going to die by changing your job. You're not going to die by stopping a relationship that is not working for you. We know that you're not going to die if you decide to start cutting down on your expenses because the finances are not working for you, and start saving and doing some changes within your personal finance space. In the learning zone, that is where the growing really takes place. And especially in career change, trying to do things that you haven't done before, maybe a job role that you haven't done before, but it does not mean that you don't have the skills, but you just need someone to really guide you. You learn and you actually get to the growth zone where you achieve your goals. You go way over and above what you even thought would be capable. Once you know that your brain is not there to make you feel happy, it's there to help you survive. And whenever you introduce change to it, it goes to what I call the what if mode. And what if mode, you start thinking, what if it doesn't work? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm making a big mistake? And then you do nothing about it. And you remain in what I call the comfort zone. It might not be very comfortable, but because you know your way around it. He's an abusive boss. It is a job that really doesn't pay you well, but after all, I have a job. I should be grateful. I'm not saying that's bad. Yeah, I should be grateful. But are you growing? Whenever you have that feeling that you're stuck, know you need to grow. So, because I can tell you that if you're sitting there feeling stuck, waiting for someone to come and save you, here's the bad news. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody. It is up to you to start taking control of your own life. And here's the opportunity to take control of your own life, to start living life by your own terms and conditions. It is by you deciding that I will do whatever it takes. It might be hard, but I know the outcome is worth the effort and time and energy that I'm putting on right now. So I have a suggestion. Allow me to pause that for now. I think I have done a sound check. I can see we are live. We are streaming everywhere on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook. And I'm really happy and excited that, Sarah, you were able to get time to join us. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. I'm fine this evening, and I'm happy to connect with you and the rest of us.
Super. And I would want just to go straight into the conversation. And I would say, if you're there, you have any question about networking, any question for Sarah Karingi, feel free to drop that in the chat. We will be coming to your questions as we go along. And also give us feedback. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, just comment and say you can see us, you can hear us. Yeah, that is why I was asking, hey, you guys, can you see me or hear me? It will be good to know that. Just give me that feedback, and also telling us where you're joining us from. That would be great. So maybe, Sarah, I can start by asking. I know you go by the name the Queen of Networking. Before I get to the maybe specific question, you can take a moment to introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and how did you end up with that title, the Queen of Networking?
I like that question. Yes. Good evening, everyone. I hope, am I loud enough?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm actually at United Kenya Club. I was not able to go home and start presenting from there. So I said, because we have a facility here, why not use it? So thank you very much. My friend, my coach also, because he has been coaching me a lot about artificial intelligence. And at one point, Dan was my student, a very good student for that matter, very keen and very interested in learning. And I also say that I'm proud to say that I'm also a very serious learner. I love learning. I love advancing my skills, be it business or entrepreneurship. I love learning from people, different things, different skills. And even if I call myself the queen of networking as an expert, there's no way I can say I'm an expert and I don't keep on upscaling. So just to introduce myself a little bit, I am an author. I have done 2 books. Unfortunately, I've not come with them. The first one is Overcoming the Impossible. That's a book that will really encourage you and make you to understand that challenges are there. Everybody, as long as you are a human being, you go through challenges. But there are many people who give up very fast. And in my life, I've faced very many challenges. And in that book, I've actually shown how I faced challenges, how I overcame them, and the route that I took to get to a position where I felt indeed these challenges were building me. The second book is What Successful Business Networkers Do. We all want to be successful. Successful in matters business, to be successful in matters career, to be successful in matters relationships. How do we use our skills to connect with people? Because until you connect with me here in my heart, until I'm convinced that I can trust you, there's no way I'll open my networks to you. Many people don't realize that. So that book is a small hard book. In fact, you can read it within 1 hour. You can read it within 2 hours in very simple English and very good examples. And the few that have read that book have told me it has really helped them, because there are certain mistakes which I also used to make. I would meet people, I just dish out business cards and wait for them to call me so they could give me business. But that is the wrong way to network. So in that book, it just shows you how you can position yourself in the market, the people that you meet, and how you can interact with them, what not to do, and what to do. Then I also have another book which I co-authored with a master networker and someone who I really, really admire. He's called Dr. Ivan Mesner. He's called the father of modern networking. And I went all the way to America. I had never gone to America. I found him in a cruise ship and I joined him there. And he mentored me for 5 good days. I happened to be in that network. I was performing very well. I learned the skills so well that in Kenya and East Africa, I was always at the top with a performance of 100%. And I led the groups that were under me to great success. So I did thank God that I have been able to influence these people to perform so well in business, to perform very well in life skills. So when you elevate somebody's life, that is to me is what success. It's not just about me, it's about the other person. And you know what? If, for example, I elevate two people, then they can easily elevate me in a faster way because now I've elevated two people. So if one holds me on this side, one on this hand, it means I can go higher. But unfortunately, many people think I'll not share with someone any information. I'll not share with anybody any ideas. I'll not share with people what I know because I don't want them to be richer than me. I don't need them to overtake me. But that's not how it works. Lift others and to change that will take place in your life. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm construction industry. I do construction. Though this was a business which was started by my late husband. When he passed on, I took over all the businesses that he was running. I've faced very many challenges, but because I believe in succeeding, and because I believe that I have to make sure that anything I do has to move from this level to another level, I said there's no way this man could have worked so hard before I was as was, and I received very many criticisms. But I said even if his work was constructing, he was not doing it alone. I used to observe and I used to learn. So I decided to take the whole team that he was working with and was able to finish the projects that he was doing as I continued learning. So today, even if I'm given an open ground, I can be able to build anything that someone wants. And of course, with the right team. Because the reason why we are professionals is because they will guide us and show us the best way to do things. So I'm also in the real estate sector. We do rent. Most of our rental houses are in Eastlands, and we have others in this place called Garden Estate. Then what I'm really passionate about is building people up through networks and through networking. I have a quote that says, make other people's business your business, and you will be in business. What does that mean? If you are keen to learn about my business, if you are keen to know the interests that I have, if you are keen about the goals that I have, if you are keen about my networks and see how you can support them, then it means you are on the right track. So make other people's business your business, own it, understand what my needs are, understand what are the networks that I need, understand the challenges that I am facing, try to understand what is it I can do to lift Sarah up. Now take it now the other way. If we both did the same, it means in this country we are complaining about the problems that are there in this country. But guess what? The person that is supposed to lift you is that one at times you ignore. The security guard you ignore in a certain maybe building. The security guard, imagine how many people he knows. Maybe he's very good with the CEO, they have a very good relationship, and then you ignore him. Look at it also when you go to those who play golf. And that's what I was telling some of my friends. When you go to play golf, do you go there with a mind that I am going to meet these people? And of course, the first person that you connect with is the candy. Candies are those people who carry your bag as you go to play golf. And one day I just decided, why can't I just connect with this candy? So I decided, I became very strategic, and I said I'll not just be using one candy. And this candy, I would get one today. The following week, I take another one. I continue like that. And with what intention? The time I'm through with golfing, I'll just ask him, kuna mtu unajua ambaye anajenga manyumba? Why? Because we supply construction materials, and these are manufactured wooden products, doors and frames and stuff with wood. This we started a long time ago, just to supply to the site that my husband was building. But then after that, we advanced and people started asking whether we could supply. So we've continued doing the same business, but we have kept on improving all the time. So I asked them, do you know any developer? So I asked him certain questions which will make them say, oh, unajua hata kuna mzee ambaye ninambebea mfuko wake. Then I would ask them, do you know any contractor? Do you know any person who probably is building? And imagine they would say those people. So what would I do? Because they have a relationship, I may not have a clue if I approach them directly. And now because I have learned the skills of networking, I would request him to connect him to me to that person. So he would pick the call and say, kuna mama hapa, she's my friend, and I've known her for this number of maybe times, and she would like to, when will you be available? And I would make sure that this person is one who introduces me. So those are simple things that we are supposed to do to connect with those people that we don't know. So now to just go to the next point is that besides now just teaching you a little bit about how to network, and knowing that of course, networking is very mutual, that I need to support you, I need to understand you, I need to lift you, I need to listen to you, I need to understand what your pain is, how I can actually help you to connect with the right person, not just anybody, not just telling you, go and see the manager of United Kenya or go and see this doctor. Okay, it's before to call that doctor and tell him, so this friend of mine, she has arthritis, and because you took care of my mom, I would like you to listen to her. Her name is Sarah Karindi. And I know the way same way you took care of my mom, you can still do it for her. Now I am with her here. Please pick this phone, talk to her. That is the best connection that you can ever do for somebody. So that is how networking is supposed to be done. So then again, if say Dan sees an opportunity for Sarah, what should he do? He should also do the same. That is why I said we should carry each other's interests, goals. We should carry each other's say aspirations and anything that of course goes around us. So I need to understand each person, who they are and what they do. Then that will now be able now to connect them now to the right networks. So I train on networking. I speak on networking. I speak in conferences. I speak in certain forums. I travel even out of the country. I've been to South Africa, I've been to Lagos, I've been to Ghana, I've been to America, and I've been to Canada and Netherlands just to speak about networking. So the reason why now I'm called the Queen of Networking is because I have actually earned this title. I have been reading day and night. I eat, I sleep, I walk, I talk about networking because I'm very passionate about it. And when you see people now asking for me, it means they understand and they see the passion I have. They see what I share. In fact, if you go online, you see 99.9% of what I post is about networking. So Now I have received so many awards. I think there are more than what. I think by now I think there could be 17 awards on leadership and on networking. So thank you very
Mhm.
much. So I can talk until tomorrow. So briefly, or in that way that I have introduced myself, that is who I am. Asante sana Mutuku.
Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate. And with that, I have just too much value right there. The idea of trying to build relationships with people who sometimes might not be the key person. As you say, you're talking to the candy, you're talking to the guard, you're talking, and they're the ones who are going to give you the connections to those people who matters. And also still validating, and I think there's a word called, is it that party validation? You don't just, they don't get the contact from them and straight say, let me call them. You are like, you will use them to introduce you to the person. I really like that. I really like that. Maybe I can see we have a wide audience. People are saying they can hear us clear. That is Katok from Ronkai. I had seen someone here all the way in Gabon. So no, we are going beyond the borders. Thank you very much. Who again is here? There's Priscilla saying, yes, want to hear, they can hear both of us. There's someone in Kilifi. Lynn, Maemba, thank you very much for joining us again. This is good. I can see a good number. So maybe what I can ask, if you can tilt I think the laptop so that you can be in the middle, so that when I put this layout, you can also fit there. Is it possible for you to just tilt the laptop slightly so that you can in the middle of the screen? If you can be able to tilt the laptop that you are using, it will be easy for me to have you right in the middle. Is it possible, Sarah?
To do what?
To just tilt the laptop
Mm-hmm.
slightly so that you are in the middle of the screen. Right there. That is good. So that when I put this layout, you're right there.
Okay.
So maybe the
Okay.
question I would start now, also to get to know more, is how would you maybe tell someone to approach this idea of building and maintaining professional relationships? Because when it comes to networking, it's not a matter of just getting a number or a business card. It is building that professional relationship. So if someone is really wants to build that, how would you advise them to approach it?
Yeah. Now, first of all, let us try to imagine
Mm-hmm,
building. How do we build? And of course, when you hear building, you think of a house, maybe a
mm-hmm,
flat, or yeah, just a building. So
mm-hmm,
now, when you decide to build, you prepare yourself. How do you prepare yourself? You know the time you are going to build that house. So you have to put
mm-hmm,
the finances aside. You have to know the people who are going to build for you. You have to know all the materials that are going to be used. Are you going to use the stones? Are you going to use other products? Are you going to use mud? Or what is it that you are going to use? Then from there,
mm-hmm,
now you start, now you give yourself goals. And you
mm-hmm,
understand that now I'm supposed to build this house by this particular time. So you also have these professionals who also advise you if it is a quantity surveyor, what is required. So when you talk of building a relationship, it's something similar. What
mm-hmm,
do you what are the implements of building? What are the right tools of building a house? So what are the right tools of building a relationship? Number one, you have to be someone who has to be trusted. If people don't trust you, if you don't have credibility, my friends, people will not connect you to opportunities. What a feature, they will refuse, because I've seen there are people from different countries, I'm not speaking Swahili. Let me just focus more on English. They will not open up. They will not want to even share anything with you. Imagine if, for example, your reputation is so bad that Sarah is a trickster. Sarah cons people. You give her money, she does not refund. When she's asked to come for a meeting, she comes always late. When she's asked about something, she's not willing to share. That way, it means anybody who, when you try to ask people to connect you, you start feeling like people are bad. But the mistake is yours. You are the problem. So if you want people to trust you in a way that they can build you up, you have to make sure your credibility is at 100%. That's why I always make sure that online, whether it is physical, whatever, I make sure that I'm so composed in a way, and everything I put online is nothing that is going to put me to shame. Because what will happen today, almost everybody is going online. So they hear Sarah Karinga. What do they do? Para, 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 para. They type Sarah Karinga. So even when you are there speaking and telling people things, they are going to see maybe who is this person I called? What is this candle that Sarah has? And they'll be like, you are telling us this and you cannot be trusted. So people start even whispering and saying, look at this, look at what this person said about Sarah. So you have to really make sure that you are trustworthy. Then the other thing is you have to do is to make sure that your attitude is good. I can tell you for sure, wherever I go, I people. I have a good personality. I smile at people. I have confidence because if I know I have doubts in my heart or I have doubts even outside, I'm not sure of myself. I'm not sure of the crowd that is there because probably there could be someone that I did some wrong. So you are looking at people in that room and you are wondering, would that be someone who I wronged? So you are not sure of yourself. So even when you are talking to people, you are not confident. So you have to make sure that wherever you go, number one, we have talked about trust. The other thing, of course, is that attitude. Your attitude should be right. Don't carry your burdens to a networking event. Don't carry your burdens when you are meeting anybody. There's a time I remember where many years back, that is soon after now, my spouse passed on. And then my dad started giving me trouble. He was drinking, was doing all manner of things. And I would go, that is time I remember I was leading a group in Business Network International. And I would go, I was their president, and I would perform so well, and I would encourage them, and I would not show them my problems. And that time, I'm being called by a cop, like when I'm driving in, and I'm told, you know what, your son is in a police custody. And I would be like, okay, then I'll just pray and tell God, give me the grace. And I would go, I carry out that meeting, and nobody, and I can tell you for sure, nobody would know that I have any problem. I actually prayed for God to give me the grace just to do what He had instructed me to do, that is leading these people. So when you go with the negative attitude or you have this pain, I'm not saying that you don't experience it, but try to uphold yourself in a way that people not start saying, there's something wrong with this lady. The other thing that you have to do is that you have to make sure that your personal brand is tip-top. Let us not assume that people don't actually make certain impressions about us. Right now, there are people who have never met me, but they already have seen, is this woman positive? How is she? Does she know what she's talking about? So when about the personal branding is that what do people think about you when they first of all meet you? Then after that, what do they see of you online? What do you communicate out there? How does your brand, you yourself as a brand, because they say before people buy your products, before people buy your services, they buy you. So now I don't know how many people are buying me, but because of my brand, but I know that if we want to connect with our customers, if we want to connect with our suppliers, if we want to connect with our employees, collaborators, partners, we have to make sure that, of course, our personal brand is good. Without that, then it means, of course, we cannot go far. Then, this is something I was telling another lady. They are doing a very good business. I went with my daughter, I tagged her along. I want to collaborate with them. I will not mention the name, but we were looking for them online. We couldn't find them. We tried even looking for them even on a website. We couldn't locate them. So the thing here is, if we cannot be able to be seen online, where are you? There people are online. Make sure you are visible. Being visible is being seen. Can we see you? Imagine at my age, I'm learning how to use TikTok. I'm learning how to use Facebook. I've learned how to use LinkedIn. I'm learning now AI. You can imagine. How about you? You are my children, or even some of you are my grandchildren. And I can talk about using these platforms because I have learned the secret. Business is moving online. So if you want to go online, you are not even on WhatsApp. Before I used to use a Mulika Mwizi. But as time went by, my son actually challenged me and asked me, Mom, you don't even be ashamed. You are going to do big events and you are just holding a Mulika Mwizi. So at times you need people to challenge you, to tell you the way you are dressed is not good. You are not Zuckerberg. You need to dress professionally. You need to look good. You have to comb your hair. You have to look the part. So my son really challenged me, and he showed me how to use the laptop because I used to be scared of viruses. He showed me how to use my first Android phone was an S4 before I was having that phone. So we have to make sure that we are visible, we can be reached anytime, and we don't have to even keep on hiding numbers. I don't even see why people keep on hiding numbers. And someone is asking for a number. No, don't share my number. Go online and you see my number there. And most people connect with me online. So the other thing, of course, is that once you are given business, or once someone gives you a contact, and this person, maybe you connect with that person, please make sure you give the connector feedback. Give them feedback. How shall I know what you have gone through with that person that I connected you with? Many people don't even bother saying, I connected you to Dan, and Dan was probably to do for you a CV to get this kind of job. But you keep quiet. 1 week is over. The second week, I'm calling you to find out. By the way, I connected you to Dan. How did it go? I should not be doing that. It is you to ask me, to tell me, Sarah, update me. By the way, I connected with Dan, and Dan did ABCD for me, and I'm very grateful. Oh, he told me to go next week. He's going to do something for me. Do you know how you make my heart to feel? It means next time I'll be encouraged to give you more business, or I'll be able to connect you maybe to Dan or even another person so that you can connect better. Then the other thing is, once you are given work, most times you forget to follow up. And you know what? It is said business is in the follow up. If you don't follow up, it is your problem. So you are connected to Dan, you are connected to Jane, you are connected to Odhiambo. If you cannot follow up with that maybe referral that you've been given, or maybe you have been connected for a job and you don't follow up, maybe you are told by the CEO of Coca-Cola to go there on Monday, or you call him at exactly 8 and you are calling at 9. My friends, you tell me, I'm sorry, I'm not going to attend to you because I told you to call me at 8, but you called me at what time? You called me at 8:30 or 9. So make sure that when you are given an appointment, you get there on time, actually before time, 1:45, but wait. Don't start knocking door. If you are told to come, I tell you to come to my office at 8, and you get there at 7:30, don't step in that office before that 8 o'clock. Then the other thing, of course, you have to do is to make sure that, you look good, as I said earlier on, and that, of course, the people around you just know you for some, for a person who can be connected. So I think for that, I've been able to explain very clearly what you're supposed to do in order for you to build meaningful relationships. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you. I think there's quite a lot there I've learned, and even answering like the next question I was about to ask about online. And I want to challenge each and every person here who is following us, whichever the platform, LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. Can you just try and Google yourself? Just type your name. We might not all of us have a privilege of having a website about us. And one of the things that you will realize that shows up on top is LinkedIn, either LinkedIn or Facebook. But because we also want to show our professional side, you need to work on your LinkedIn page so that it's the first one and people can be able to see more about you. I can share with you some feedback. I can see Penny saying here, I am in Olengruoni. Thank you very much, and you're welcome. Alexander Morelli saying thank you for bringing this incredible host. I can see another person all the way in Nigeria. Karibu sana. There's a question from Alid. I think I'll come back to the question later. So if you have any questions, still feel free to drop it in the chat. Maybe in the next 10 minutes, we'll get to the Q&A before we close it up. Maybe what I would want to hear from you, Sarah, what advice would you give for people who would consider themselves introvert, or individuals who find networking a bit of a challenge to them? What would you advise them to do?
Hey, that is a question that I'm asked by very many people. And for your information, introverts are very good when it comes to networking. They may not be so extroverted, they don't shout, they don't mingle so much with many people. And some of the traits of introverts is that what I have seen is that generally they are shy, they like keeping to themselves. The other thing is that sometimes they lack confidence. There are times even when they meet people, they sweat. And but what I like about introverts, the few that I have met, because some of my former PAs have been introverts. They are very intelligent. Most of them are very, very intelligent. And they are also very, very good listeners. And in networking, that's something, a trait I forgot to say, is that we have to be very, very good listeners. Because if I don't listen to Dan about who he is, and then maybe he's telling me about himself and what he does and how he started and the challenges he faced and blah blah blah, I may not understand who he is and what he does. So in that case, I may not be able to help him. But introverts don't interject when somebody is talking. They listen, they digest, and they try to connect with you. So you can easily connect with an introvert. So that is something positive about introverts. Then they also respect people's spaces. You won't see an introvert just coming and finding people in one group and they just get in, unlike the extroverts. So they respect people's spaces. And then the other thing is that, of course, is that when they grasp what you do, they feel very safe with very few people, maybe two people or maximum maybe three people, and mostly two people. They connect better. So it means when they do that, they can be able now to understand you better and they can do more. So now, in order for them now to become good networkers, there are certain things they have to do. Number one, assuming that, of course, you are networking online, and some of the things that they do mostly is to network online. They like online a lot because they don't like places where there are crowds of people. They actually participate as much as possible in those online meetings or in those online groups. They research a lot, and because they have a lot of time for themselves, so most of the time maybe they are either doing some research or they are doing something. So at times you find that they are very conversant with a certain topic more than other people. So now when they go online, they participate by communicating, writing, maybe sharing videos. So that is one positive thing about them. Then the other thing is that what I've seen about this introvert, because I've also been reading a certain book on introverts, is that
Okay.
after researching, you may find that they will actually share the information to other people if they're connected with that person. Because of the way they are, I think they are made, I don't understand. See, they will share more than maybe extroverts. Because extroverts are always looking for places to go. So for them, they will concentrate more now, maybe with one person. And you find that, of course, they are also very good when it comes to the industries in which maybe they work. Assuming one is an ICT person, you find that they are very good in ICT. So now, assuming that now you are going for an event, what should you do? Because you must go. Say maybe you are employed and you've been told by your boss you have to go to this event. So what can you do? I used to be an introvert myself. I used to be so scared of meeting people. So what I did, which made me now to start learning and coming out of that space, I would go for the event very early. I would be the first person to arrive. Then when the first person comes, I would connect with that person and I feel very safe with that person. So you have to go very early and try to connect with one person or two people, and you start now feeling relaxed than walking in a room full of people, because for sure you get very scared and you cannot interact with people. So those are some of the things that they need to do. Then from there, of course, when they pick cards, they usually write emails or maybe reach out to these people. And then, of course, when they are at home, in most cases, you see that they call someone, they follow up. They are very good when it comes to follow up. The few that I have dealt with, they are very good when it comes to following up. So I think that's what I would just say about introverts for now.
Thank you, thank you. And I didn't realize that introvert might be that good in terms of networking. And I think the message here is, if you feel as if you're an introvert, you just need to be able to lean in to who you are and use those qualities to even have deeper connections with people that you are engaging. You might not have as many as someone who will say they are an extrovert, but those few meaningful connections would be very, very important. I just see, oh, there's someone from Chad, Miriam, joining us all the way in Chad. I'm very happy to hear that. I'll come to your questions. I can see them coming. So maybe before I go to the question, I want to know from you, Sarah. You have mentioned something to do with the events. So how can a professional leverage industry events, conferences, and workshops for the purpose of networking? I know sometimes we are sent by the company to go there, or sometimes we might say we are proactive and we want to go to these events. Maybe it's a conference, maybe it's a workshop. As much as there is the training or the subject matter that you're going to learn, you can also utilize this space for networking. So what would your advice be when you're going for this live event?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Today people are either meeting online for these conferences, or because COVID, of course, now we assume that, of course, it just flew away. These days, people like meeting physically. And I would like to say one thing, that why is it that people hold conferences? Why is it that people hold events? Number one is because they want their brand to be known. They want to be known. They want to connect with the market, because you never know what your market is. Because in such places, you can find people who probably would be interested in what you do, in the career that you do. Maybe if you are a professional, maybe you also go there and people get to know you. Probably you even can ask to be a speaker, and people get to know exactly who you are and what you do. So people go there for information. The other thing is that they go to find out what is trending in the market. Assume that you are a manufacturer of, say, garments, like a dress like this one. Probably now this is an old dress, maybe an old type of design. So what is trending? What is currently today that people are actually wearing, or what is it that they really want? So when you go there, you get to hear someone say, "This is what I found out. This is what I discovered," or maybe the speaker will actually be talking about that industry. That is one of some of the reasons that make people go out there. Then the other thing is people go there, of course, to look for potential customers, and others just go there maybe to meet people who probably may help them, maybe even collaborate. So even people go to those events or conferences for collaboration. So how do you leverage on such conferences? Number one, you have to do enough research. There's no need of attending a conference just for the sake of attending. Maybe it is for football. We've had there's an event maybe in United Kenya Club for footballers, and you want them to attend an industry, maybe for, say, professionals like architects. So when you go there, you realize that you have wasted so much time. So it's good, first of all, before you attend an event, you find out who are the speakers, what is happening there. Are people coming to display products or services? So who are coming? You see, all those are the questions that you need to do. Then the other thing is that it's wise for you to attend industry-based events, because that is where you get to know what I have just said earlier, what is trending, and maybe what is new, and probably also the newest research that has maybe come up with something that can help you become better. Say, for example, I remember going to with my daughter to Dubai last year. It was about there was a conference about wood, and when we went there, I just got interested in robots. So I just saw robots. They were moving from place to place. They were carrying things like, like human beings. Okay, that is off the curve, but there are people who went there just to understand how these robots will be working and how they replace people when it comes to work. I'm not scaring you, but I'm only saying, because that is the truth, and that is what is happening. Even like in Japan, I came to find out that even in Japan, robots are the ones which are serving people in restaurants. So there's these people who are very keen. So they were asking questions, and so people came from different parts of the world just to come and see how these robots were working. There are also robots which were operating machines. So when you look at this event, it means people are going there with a purpose. So what is the purpose for you to go to a certain event? You are going there because you are going to learn, you are going to ask questions, you get brochures, you get information, and then you get in our contacts of the people who are probably selling those products, say like these people are selling those robots. And then the other thing is that, of course, for you to leverage on, say, as a professional, there are times you find that, or say like either manufacturer or whatever you do, it's good for you not to feel that you are wasting your money when you sponsor an event. From my own personal experience, I have sponsored a golf tournament, and you can imagine people are coming from very many places. They come, so you put your teardrops on the golf course. at the entrance, everywhere. So people will be seeing the name of your company. So you see, you are exposing your brand to the market. And those people who come for golfing, there are people who, of course, have money. There are people who are exposed. There are people who have traveled. There are people who have ideas. And when they come, they even ask you questions. How come you are not aware that the types of doors that are coming are X, Y, Z? Like then someone goes to his phone, opens and shows you. So you see, you're also not only going there to showcase your products, but you are going there to also learn from people, because you see, as a career person, as an employer, as a manufacturer, whatever you are going there to learn. So it is important for us, when we are going to those places, we have open minds. Don't go there and feeling that, why are you criticizing me? I'm the expert in this area. Why should you be asking me these questions? No, go there ready to learn from other people. So should be open to learning, and that and then the other things that you should also do is to make sure that, of course, you understand your product very well, because if you don't understand your product, then it means people will confuse you. People will also see that you don't understand. So even the people who are going with you, you have to make sure your staff, the sales team, the experts, the people who are explaining the product are people who are as knowledgeable as yourself. Thank you very much, Dan. So I think I'll stop there for that.
Good stuff. I really appreciate. And I think Alexander is already saying here, this lady is extremely insightful. There are so many points she has raised, which we would normally assume. Thank you very much, Alexander, for that comment. And Abdullahi, don't worry. You're saying you're a bit late. You're breaking the fast. You say, is it Ramadan Karim? Yeah, it's okay. On YouTube, this link will still be there, so you can be able to go back and watch from the beginning. So don't feel as if you have missed a lot. The recording is still here for you. I want to pull in Lynn's question, and this is what she says. Yeah, whenever I have an opportunity, I don't hesitate to help others. However, most of the time, people are not willing to connect me to opportunities. What would be the problem? Please advise.
Hey, I really love that question. Her name is Lynn. Lynn, that question you have asked is very, very good. From my own personal experience, I am a giver, and not just a giver, a big, big giver. And I give so much. At times people think that I am foolish, but what I receive, my good Lord, is not much. But like I was in that network where I see that I was, and I really helped entrepreneurs. I learned, I would teach them, I would train them, I would connect them, because you see, I used to go to different events, tournaments, name it. I go to, I'm a member of different organizations. I meet this person, and I will remember. I have a very sharp memory. I remember, by the way, there's this person who gave me his card. I saved him by the name of the company, or maybe what they do. So I'll quickly go to my phone. I look, maybe, for example, if it is career, say United Kenya Club, and I just type United Kenya Club, then I'll get the name. Then I'll quickly take that number, I forward, and then I tell him, wait, I'll connect you. You talk to this person. I have talked to him and introduced you to him. These people, even if I used to do that, they never used to give me business. They never used to give me referrals. But then I would say, what I would do is that just wait. But if you keep on, maybe if you get frustrated to a point where you feel you give so much, but you don't receive much in return. There are people who, what you do, or what I decided to do, is to focus on people who can also support me. This may not really support me as much as I'm supporting them, but I started now sieving. You see, like when you have, I don't know whether you people normally use this, the item that you use for after you cook tea, you of course now put the tea in that sieve, so you get now clean tea underneath, or maybe once you get it in your glass or in your cup, you leave the bad things here. So how I equate this to is that this whatever is left here, those particles that are left, the tea leaves, that is the bad feelings, or the things that you don't want. But the tea that you get comes to your cup. So give what is good. as much as you can. I actually have a quote that says, give until it feels good, not until it hurts. There are times to give so much, and you start wondering, how come that I'm the only person who gives, but people don't give me? So just get more exposed. And the reason why I have really grown to a point where now you see, I say, yes, I'm called the queen of networking is because I've been known to be a giver. Not because over the last 10 years, I've perfected the art of networking. People I don't even know. They call me, they say, Sarah, we understand that you're the queen of networking. We understand you help people a lot. I have this work for you. Or if it is online, they go online, they look for me, and they inbox me, they tell me, I want to give you business. So it may not be that once you give, you receive. Look at, I don't know whether you are a Christian or even if you are not a Christian. In the Bible, there are the 10 lepers that Jesus healed. And it is said, out of the 10, it's only one who went to tell Jesus, thank you. How many people are like that within your circles? What I say is that me, I'll give, but I only give people that I can trust. And I wait for God to bring blessings from above. And the reason why you hear that I've traveled to different parts of the country, there are people I don't know. People from Nigeria have connected me to opportunities I don't know. People from Netherlands is a certain Mzungu, a certain European. She saw me online and what I do. She connected me to those opportunities. Another lady saw me from Canada. I don't know that person. She also connected me to opportunities. She actually paid for my travel all the way to Canada, and I've been doing business with those people. So at times, just do good and wait for good things to come to you, and they come in multiples and multiples of blessings. So don't fear and don't feel bad that you are helping people, but don't give expecting people to return the same to you. But wait, your day is coming. Thank you.
I really like that. And the idea of giving. Actually, instead of asking how much am I giving, ask yourself how much are you giving. And one thing I've also learned, I think I'm more spiritual in the sense that I can give and give and give, but sometimes it's not those people that you give that actually give you back. Some doors will open somewhere, someone who is not related, but just because you are giving, it came back to you. And I like what Abdullah here is saying. Yeah, you see, I'm not a Christian, but my religion too encourages giving and helping. So I think
That is
this is
Abdul.
quite, yeah. This is Abdi Hakim Abdullahi. I really like that. Let me speak if there's another question here. Good information. Thank you very much, Rosemary. How can I know when and where relevant professional events are happening? Any websites? I think I have some, but you can also tell, maybe Sarah, you can share some. There's a website called Eventbrite. Eventbrite, they do share different events, workshops, seminars, conferences. There is also Meetup, but Meetup is for specific group or industry based. So you can still look at that. Meetup.com, eventsbright.com. I don't know, Sarah, do you know where people can know about relevant events, maybe in their professions that they can go to?
Yeah, like LinkedIn. Sorry, before I go to that one, let me just add on to what I was just sharing before about giving. For me, I can tell you that there is a network I was in. I gave business worth 300 million Kenya shillings. That is it about $3 million or 3 point something dollars? And I received only, that is within a period of 10 years, and I received only 83 million, but I didn't stop giving. So, and even as Abdul says, his community, of course, I know his religion. Okay, we are not here to talk about religion, but we just have to mention it anyway. Is that when you look at some religions, like say Muslims, they share a lot, they partner a lot. And then also when you look at people like Jews, I'm talking now about societies. Looking at Jews, there's a time I went to South Africa, and I met this Jew who sat next to me, and I was asking him, how come that you people you appear to be so blessed? He said, blessings come to you because you give. And what we do, because we know from when we were born, when we grew up, when we were 3 years old, from as we grew, our parents taught us, especially our mothers are usually our teachers when we are small, that we should understand who my brother is, not my blood brother, but in our community, who are these people? And he told me the shoe I'm wearing today, in fact, I came from a cobbler. He's a Jew. The shirt I'm wearing is from a Jew. The jacket I'm wearing is from a Jew. And anything I buy, then the food that I buy is from a Jew. And in South Africa, we know where all the Jews live. How about us? Even maybe my neighbor, I don't even know who he is. So we need to change the way we think and the way we do things. Also, look at the Asians. Look at the people we call Somalis. How come they are succeeding? Why is it that we cannot come together and share what we have? We share knowledge, we share experiences, we share our struggles, and that is what is going to help us to change. Anyway, let me now come to this other issue, the other point.
Yeah.
Uh, just remind me what it was that you said that
How can I know where and when
and
maybe
where relevant events are happening? The good thing today is that you see information everywhere on social media. When you go to Facebook, other than what Mutupo Dan has just shared, when you go to Facebook, there are groups. Just type maybe the kind of event you want. Type, you see. Even when you want to buy shoes, go to Facebook, type shoes. There are clothes, these second-hand clothes, right? Mitumbas. In Kenya, we call them mitumbas or second-hand clothes. Maybe you see all of them getting lined up, all those groups. When you go to LinkedIn, do the same. You get all the information you want. And I've joined those groups just because of asking. And this question is very important. So then also ask people, do you know certain organizations? Say, for example, like in you want to know where events are taking place, like say it's a certain event you really want, you don't know how to get to know. If you ask online, WhatsApp for me works very well. And there are times people will ask me, Sarah, I want an interior designer. How well are we using social media to grow or to change? So I go to different groups, I ask about social media experts, and I'll get like about 20 or maybe 100. Then, because I'm not the one who's interviewing them, I throw the names down to my daughter and I tell her, this is. So now, what I'm trying to say is that if it is group, you can even ask, make use of the social media in which you are to know where you want to go. Ask, do you know, is there anybody in this group who knows where I can find manufacturers of dresses, for example, or maybe people to do with ICT groups that I can join, and you get so many of them. This one will give you a few, another one will give you a few, and you'll be sorted. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much. And actually, as you were saying, that LinkedIn is a great place for professional events. So if you search events on LinkedIn, you will be able to see a lot. I also want to share, I think these are the ones that I was talking about. There is this one which is called Eventbrite. You can just say your location and it will give you the different events that are there. If you're near coast in Kenya, in Nairobi, they're both online and physical events. You can just search here by whatever place you're in. The other one is um, this one called Meetup, and then Facebook and LinkedIn. You can be able to get all these other events, both physical, online, and all that. I think that is good. Let me see if we have any other question before. Oh, already it's almost 8:30. I think um, Abdi Hakim saying again, the hand that gives is the hand that gets. Thank you very much. I think that is it. I can't see much of any question here, unless there's one, you can drop it in. So as we finish up, Sarah, what would be your parting shot? What would be your overall message for someone who is really thinking about using networking as a strategy for their growth in their business and in their career?
Sorry?
What would be your parting shot or your final message for someone who has been thinking, maybe I'll do this, I'll do networking, but now they are serious about using networking as a growth tool? What would you tell them?
Yeah, what I would say is that for me, because I've just said that for me, I speak networking, I work networking, I sleep networking, and I eat networking. Everything for me is networking because I've leveraged on networks and I have been able to connect to very, very good people.
Mhm.
It may take time, But now, because I already know what I do, like when I train people to understand how to network and not waste so much time. Like, you see, I'm really, it's like in a bush. We're moving in a bush and we're trying to clear the way before you get to where you want to go because there are no roads. That is what I have done. So the many people that have come to me, I have made it so easy for them to learn how to network. So you have to get someone, if you want mentorship or if you want to know something, don't waste so much time trying to, trying things by yourself. Ask someone who knows. Ask a professional. People who have walked the journey. They understand the challenges. They know where there's a bend. They know where the road is straight. And they know where there's a very big dip. And they'll tell you, when you reach here, don't go very fast. Slow down. Then, after 10 kilometers, there will be a very sharp bend. Because if you move very fast, you'll find yourself rolling. I'm assuming that you are driving. So, what I would say is, if you want to go far, don't go alone. Look for experts, look for professionals, look for people who are willing to help you, and there are many. Just identify them. So if you want to network, ask Dan, that lady who was talking so passionately about networking. How can I reach her? Consult, ask, and whatever you ask, as the word of God says, ask and you will find. Knock, and the door shall be opened. Seek, and you will find. Thank you very much.
I really love that. I really love that. Guess what I'm seeing in the comment? There's already someone saying, share Sarah's contact, please. I think they have already gotten to love what
Share
you
my
shared.
contact there.
Yes, yes. I will get in touch with the person. We are on a WhatsApp group, by the way. I would want to mention you can join the WhatsApp group. Alexander saying, thanks, Daniel and Sarah, for the advice, insightful, and leadership that you give. Thank you. I really appreciate. So let me just share this how you can be able to get in touch with me, or this is my WhatsApp number, still my number. You can call me, then I can be able to share with you Sarah's contact and you can get in touch with her. That is my number, +254 732 209795. Yeah, it's my personal number, but call me tomorrow during the day. I'll be happy to do that. I think that is it. That is it. Kathy saying, yes, I agree with you 100%. Don't walk alone. Yeah, there's that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further, don't walk alone. Yeah, at least have the company. I really appreciate that. This was quite great. Thank you for the insight. Until next week. But then next week, Thursday, we'll be talking about UN jobs. The UN have changed their career portal. It is now more robust. There are more jobs there. There are more information they have given. So I've decided to update like most of the videos that I had talked earlier about UN jobs. And so what I'm going to do is to take you deep into the UN career portal, how you can use it, how you can utilize it, and get as much information as possible. And until next week, we are out. Thank you. Thank you very much. So Sarah, just hang on in there. Let me stop the stream and then